YouTube, what's happening? It is Saturday, July 27th, and as you can see, we have a busy slate of baseball to talk about today. We have 16 games going on today. There's a doubleheader going on in San Francisco between the Rockets and the Giants. So drop a like, subscribe, because yesterday, as you can see, went 10-5 on the day, plus 3.05 units. It would have been an even better day if Texas would have won the game and held on. They just gave it away to Toronto. That would have hit the money line. That would have hit their own bet. That would have put me up over double-digit units on the day. Ooh, it's, yeah, almost there, almost got it. So, hey, we'll take whatever we can get, profits around there. And I know I didn't bet it. I should have bet it. I said yesterday, Miami was going to win the game, and they didn't put anything on it. And what happened? Miami won the game. So that's what I get for being too cautious, too conservative sometimes. So yeah, there you go. So do what you can do. So on top of that, if you want to skip the recaps, if you want access to the Discord, you got to become a member, join the membership, join the Discord. We will jump into that first game right now. All right, first game, we got Texas and Toronto. If Texas would have won yesterday. Enough of that. Okay, anyways, Toronto is a pretty decent favorite. 8.5 is your total. Looking at the numbers, we see 43.2% NRP based on what they've done this year. 5.7 runs while batting .333 for Texas in their last 3 games. That's 9th and 2nd in the majors currently. Toronto, 4 runs a game while batting .227 in the last 3 games. That's 16th and 20th. So Texas, slight advantage in the offense. Looking over at the pitchers, we got Lorenzen going out there for Texas. You can see what he done. He has not faced Toronto recently. He had a 5-er against Baltimore and a 5-er against LA, but he had a great game against Tampa. So he's a couple you take away as good and as bad. You're pretty in the middle, about 2 and 3 is what you're looking at. Looking at Gossman going out there, 4-5 of the 1-3. You can see what he's done. He's not faced Texas recently, but he has been, June, he was a little rough, but a little rough against Detroit. So to me, they both have their issues getting blown up on. They both have decent. They're both about 2-3. There's no real difference to me in these two pitchers. So to me, I don't see an advantage there. Slightest of advantage for offense for Toronto. So not enough for me to really want to take Toronto on the money line. Texas on the money line. Toronto is favored, but I don't know. I'm leaving the money line alone. Sidewise, it is 8.5. But with these two pitchers, they had the chance to get blown up. The offenses are. Texas offense is pretty decent. Toronto's middle, but they are trending up, which is what I like to see. And it is 8.5. Oof. That is hitting my number. I think I might be taking 8.5. Let's pop over to the props and look a little closer at the matchups. Gossman, let's do him first. History. How does Texas hit Gossman? There's a lot of green on this list. You can see there's a home run. Garcia's got one. Simeon, Sager. They all got home runs, and they got good at bats. Sager's batting .625 and 16 at bats. That is insane. That is ridiculous. 250 and 20 at 310 at 625 and 16 at bats is just insane. That's crazy. I'm gonna add, talking about parlay today, I'm gonna do Sager for hits. I'm gonna add him into my little individual person parlay list. I'm gonna do that today. So let's pop over and look at the props, see what looks good. Strikeouts, nothing looks good. Hits, no. Earned runs, not really. I mean, he could go over this, but I'm not feeling it. Walks, no. And outs, he's pretty consistent, but 18.5? No, I can't do that. So now let's look at Lorenzen. Let's do his matchup. We went Lorenzen versus Toronto. History, not much of a history out there. Vladdy's 1 for 3, and that's all we got. So Toronto versus righties, we can see how they do recently. There's more green than red against the righties. A lot of 300s, a couple 300s on here, a couple 100s on here. So we can see the props. Hits is up and down everywhere. Strikeouts is crazy. Earned runs, walks. He does walk a lot. That's a thing. Walks are high. And he's very consistent with his outs, so I can't touch that. I did forget to look at Gossman's matchup against righties. How does Texas hit righties? Here we go. Up and down. There's some green, but there's also some red. So, to me, I'm not liking any of the props. I see the bats doing pretty good. I feel like today for this one, I want to play, like I said, I want to play over 8.5. I think that's the play I want to go with in this one. I don't want to touch anything else. Offense is too good for a nervy. I can't do that. So over 8.5, move on to the next game. All right, next up, we got the Padres and the Orioles. We have Padres. It's basically pick 'em, but you can get the Orioles underdog money if you want. 8.5 is the total out there. Looking at the bats, we see 46% Murphy based on what they've done this year. Speaking, quick update. Can we talk about how the year feed has just dominated this week? There's been 2 different days where like 10 plus year feeds have hit. Yesterday, I think Wednesday or whatever day it was, there was a bunch of year feeds. It was crazy. So I digress. We get back into it. So we can see that San Diego is 7 runs a game while batting 339. They have the #1 batting average in the last 3 games in the majors. And they've been on fire the past 2 weeks. That's why they have a 6-game winning streak. So Baltimore offense ain't bad. 4.7 to 233. That's middle of the road. No, that's not bad. So, and neither team is San Diego never strikes out much. So, looking at the pitchers, Michael King might be one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball that no one talks about because outside of this game, dude's been automatic. Dude has been great. So you can see that was Milwaukee too. So outside of that, just great number. That's great numbers here. So now Kramer. Not so much, dude. He's giving up more runs. He's definitely got blew up here and here. So great game with Cincy there. But so for me, if I had to pick between these 2 pitchers, I'm 100% taking Michael King. Not just a slight favorite, maybe a moderate favorite in this one. So, so I have a moderate favorite in bats for San Diego. I have a moderate favorite in pitchers for San Diego, which means I'm taking San Diego on the money line, unless something else stands out. But we could look at. Let's look. Now, I forgot to mention this. If you want to know what this is Outlier. You can see it right there. This is how I get my odds, my props, and all that fun stuff. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description. You can get you a free trial for 7 days. You can check it out. It's awesome. You'll love it. Check it out. So let's do this. We'll start with Kramer. Kramer, history versus San Diego. No home runs, which is great. We want to see that. You can see the averages. There's a couple threes there. So nothing's truly standing out. And how does San Diego hit righties? They love them some righties. So that's a good sign for San Diego money line. Lots of green on this board. So, and even the Reds, 295, 284. Yeah, San Diego should do some raking today against Kramer. So props wise, hits. The only thing, both these pitchers don't give up many hits. You can see this is Kramer in his last 10. You can see the whole 2014 he's pitched because he hasn't pitched too much because he missed a good bit. You can see he missed a big chunk between these 2 games. The most is 10 one time and 7 one time. So, yeah, so he don't give up many hits. Strikeouts, he does strike out dudes. I mean, go for it. It's San Diego. Have fun. I ain't doing it. Never. Walks, he does walk a ton, and outs, he's pretty consistent. So nothing stands out in the props. King, let's look at King stuff history. Lots of red. That's what you like to see for San Diego money lines. You can see nothing's truly standing out. I mean, 310 is not bad. A couple home runs here and there. And Baltimore versus righties, they're about 50-50 split. Nothing's truly standing out. You can see the information. 300 average for Gunner, but that's Gunner. Gunner does what Gunner does. So you can see the rest of it. Earned runs, let's do the last 10. You can see he doesn't give up many runs. Dude's been a beast. Outside his 1 game against Milwaukee. Strikeouts, it's been good, 5.5. I lean this. I will be honest. One is it's expected value, which is another cool thing Outlier shows you. EV play. It should be 109, but you can get it for 110 at 2 different books. So, and you can see the odds here. It's pretty awesome. However, they're 12th at 7.7 strikeouts. That's a low number of strikeouts. I don't really want to mess with that, even though King could probably do it. 6 strikeouts. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna be a little more. We got 16 games. It's gonna be a lot of plays. So hits under 5.5. Baltimore's a good offense when they need to be. No outs. And he's very consistent, so I don't really trust outs. I need more consistent in a certain direction. And he's doing better, but I just no. So for me, I'm not going to take the props. I'm not going to take a total, and these offenses are clearly too good for a Nerfy. So the first thing I'm going to do is take, I'm going to take the money line for San Diego and then move over to the next game. All right, next up we got Cincinnati and Tampa. We have Tampa as a slight favorite. 8 is your total. 52% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 5.3 runs while batting 226% in the last 3. That's 10th and 21st in the majors in the last 3 games. Tampa is 6 and 248 for 6 and 11. So the offenses appear to be doing pretty good recently. However, yesterday it was a 3-2 final and they both batted terribly. So what can you do? Tampa could have a reason because you got rid of your star, and there were actually comments from players saying they didn't like the trade. They don't like when the dude was traded. I said this in the video yesterday. We think of these dudes as just playing games. This is their everyday job. They see these dudes every single day, and you know, when you lose your teammate, these are friends sometimes, and it hurts. They hate to see it. So it affects the clubhouse more than people think. They don't think about that side of the baseball. So, so that's gonna. I would be surprised if it didn't affect Tampa for a few games until they get used to Randy not being there anymore. So, so you can see there's a slight advantage for Tampa in the offense, but we'll see. Pitchers, we got Abbott going out there. Abbott's been good. I mean, look at all the numbers. Outside this one game against Miami of all teams, he's been pretty spot on, pretty good numbers. And then for Tampa, Lightel, how do you say his name? He's been, well, Zach Light, getting light up. That's his name. That should be, because he has a couple of games he got lit up right here, here, and here, and then some twos. There's a 1 and a 0, but his bad games are bad. So I would take Abbott's slight advantage, maybe more slight, but the bats. So the pitchers have the advantage for Cincy. The bats, I have the advantage for Tampa. So those two cancel out, so I can't take a side. Total is 8, but they played so poorly yesterday, even though they're playing good. I really can't take a total. Let's see if the props, if anything, is stand out. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's go. Oop, refresh. Google Chrome froze on me. Bring up the matchup. Boop. There we go. History. Let's see what we've got going on. What have they done? Nothing. No one's really faced them. So Cincy versus righties is not good. They're better against lefties. You can see the numbers. There's some greens. I still can't believe it sent down Royce Hines either. I mean, Hines, whatever his first name is, Hines. I thought he was in a little slump, but I can't believe they still sent him down. But do what you gotta do. Makes sense. I don't make the calls. So you can see the numbers. We got hits, strikeouts, earned runs, walks, and the outs. I'm not liking any of those. Let's go to Abbott. I have higher hopes for Abbott. So we want Abbott versus Tampa history, and they've never faced them. So that's good for Abbott. So Tampa versus lefties. They actually hit lefties better than righties. So you can see 359 for me, 324 for Lau, 330. You can see all the numbers here, 333. And then some of the reds are just bad. So you can see the numbers. So I would say they're better lefties. And let's look at the earned runs. He's been pretty good outside of that game. Strikeouts, hits. He is prone to give up more. Walks. He's up and down on walks, and pitching outs is up and down too. Okay. So I'm not liking anything on the prop side either. He said I can't take a side. I can't really take a total, and I'm not taking a nerfy with these two with Lytle pitching. So me, nothing is really looking good. Plus the whole fact of the trades going on and their star players gone, and their players have actually spoken out against it or about it, maybe not against it, but about it, how they were upset about it. So that matters. So for me, I'm just going to lay off this game completely and move to the next one. Next up, we got Atlanta and New York. The Mets are slightly favored in this one. 8 is the total. Looking at the numbers, 68.4% nerfy based on what they've done this year. One of the few nerfies that actually hit yesterday. 3.3 and 229. That's Atlanta in 21st and 19th in the majors in the last 3 games. Mets 7.7 and 240 for an average. That's 2nd and 17th in the majors. Very high run scoring, but the average is not making sense with it. So it's weird. So, and then strikeouts, Atlanta's dead last at 13.3. They've been dead last for 2 weeks now. Atlanta is absolutely struggling. A 6-game losing streak. Mets are a 5-game winning streak. So you can see here the bat advantage goes to the Mets. Atlanta struggling. So pitchers, we got McGill going out there. McGill, you can see he was in the minors. He's back up. Last game was June 29th. You can see what's going on here. Last time he was in the majors, he got roughed up. So he hasn't been good. So now he's back. So that should be fun. Now he gets to face Atlanta, who's absolutely struggling. So either he's going to have better numbers, or he might just do something like this, and Atlanta gets him some runs. Schwellenbach's going out there. Schwellenbach has better numbers. He has some 4s and some 1s. That's what he does. 1 or 4. That's what he is. So you can see his numbers. So for me, I would say Schwellenbach, I would take him slight advantage. Mets, slight to decent advantage in bats. So that kind of makes the side kind of hard, even though we do have Atlanta spiraling and the Mets have taken over the lead in the division. Ooh, and the nerfy percent so high, but the Mets offense is starting to struggle, but I don't trust McGill. I just don't. I don't trust his numbers, especially for a nerfy. We saw it yesterday. Seattle was dead last in a lot of categories. All of a sudden, they broke out in the first inning. That makes me a little weary. So, because they can do that. You're only down for so long before you break out. So, let's look a little closer at the numbers. So, let's pop over here. Matchup. Let's go Atlanta first. Wallenbach has never faced the Mets. The Mets versus righties. Everyone knows the Mets likes lefties. So there's a 294 for Bader, and there's a 289 for Alvarez. But outside of that, not much really to look at. Look at some props for him while we're here. Earned runs, hits. Go 2024, so I get all the games. No. Hits, walks, and pitching outs. Yeah, nothing's truly standing out for a prop for him. Let's go McGill now. Let's go matchups. Let's see what he's done against the Braves. He has faced the Braves. Riley's got a home run. Ozuna's got a home run. Ozuna hit one yesterday. 556 and 9 at bats. That's actually kind of impressive. Some of these are bad numbers, so you can see, yeah, some of these guys struggle, but then a couple like Ozuna does good. Braves versus the righties, the numbers aren't that good overall for anyone on the Braves right now, so you can see those. And he walks a ton. He strikes out up and down. Hits are pretty consistent, but do I trust Atlanta to get 5 hits? It's a hard one. This is a very hard game to judge. Nothing stands out. So I don't like any of the props. The bats lean the Mets. The pitching, I'd say, leans Atlanta. I don't trust the Nerfy because of McGill's history. So for me, I'm just going to lay off this one. I'm going to pass and move on to the next one. All right, next up, we got Cleveland and Philadelphia. We got Philly as a pretty slight to moderate favorite. 9 is the total. Looking at this, 46.1% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 1.7 and 185 for Cleveland in their last 3. That's 28th and 27th in the majors. Oof. And Philly is not much better. 2.7 and 212. That's 25th and 22nd in the majors. So yeah, Philly's slightly better, but they're both bad. So they're both in the bottom half, bottom 10 even. So just terrible overall. That puts the Nerfy in play if the pitchers aren't bad. So let's look at the pitchers. We got Carrasco going out there. Dude got rocked against Detroit. That makes it kind of hard, but he had a great game against Tampa. A couple 3 spots, 2, 1, 5. You can see he's up and down. So a Nerfy's going to be a little bit of a sweat if we do it. Phillips, on the other hand, hasn't really been tested. Atlanta's offense is not good. We know that. He pitched a great game. Pittsburgh's offense, we know, is not good. He pitched a good game. Oakland's the top offense in the league at this time. The past 2 weeks, they've just been crushing baseballs. So you can see how he did. So he's facing a bad offense right now, so I think he might shove, to be honest. I think he might do good. So I think Carrasco might shove a little bit too. So yeah, that was 4 keyboard clicks. I just typed the word Nerfy. We're going to do the Nerfy. Yeah, we did it yesterday, and the Philly defense messed it up because they couldn't step on second base properly. Idiots. Anyways, I digress. Let's go over here to the props. Let's dig a little deeper, see what we make sure we see anything. We'll start with Carrasco, see what we got going on. History. Sosa's got a home run. Trey's got one. He's got 610 at-bats. Oh, hey, Trey Turner. Welcome to Turner. Welcome to my little hit list. You're going there with Sager. We'll see if anybody else stands out. Because 610 at-bats with a homer, yeah, I'll put you in there for like 1.5 hits. I'm going to do a little bit of that today, have a little fun. So, in Philly versus righties, we can see Turner's had 341, so you can, Bones 311. Let's look at some props for him. Walks, I mean, nope. Strikeouts, yeah, no, I don't like these peaks. Hits, 4-6, 4-6, 4-6. Earned runs, nothing. And pitching oots. No, the oots aren't looking good. Let's go to Phillips. Now, he doesn't have much, but we can look at some stuff. We can look at history, nothing. Cleveland versus righties, this is the main thing we're going to look at. Is going to see how they do. They're more green than red, and everything's in the middle 200s, except for Kwan's at 326. So that's what you get. His earned runs are 2.5. I don't know. Strikeouts is 3.5. Ooh, I don't think so. Walks and outs. Oh, he's gone 6 innings twice his last 2 games, and 4 the first one against Atlanta. So yeah, maybe this one might be a play, to be honest. But I need to see more. I need to see more. So for me, in this one, I think the offenses are so poor. What's the total? It's 9. Ooh. Yesterday's final was 3-1. I think I'm liking the Nerfy and the under of 9 in this one. I just think both pitchers do pretty good because the offenses are not good enough recently. And yeah, we'll take that. Nerfy under 9 next game. All right, next up, we got Minnesota and Detroit. It's Scooble Saturday. Everyone celebrate. But yeah, Minnesota it's a pick 'em. On here, they're slightly fair, but you can get Detroit plus money if you really want to. So 6.5 is the total. Oof. Looking at the bats, Minnesota's bats are doing decent. 4.7 for 12, 245 average. They great their last game. Amazing numbers. Detroit's offense is not there. 2.3, 188, both 26 in the last 3. Both teams are in the bottom half in strikeouts. Scooble's going out there. He might not have any help today, so that's what I'm saying. You can see how he's done recently. He faced Minnesota a few weeks ago. 4 hits, 3 earned, and 7 strikeouts against them. Yeah, I mean, that's his worst game. Sure, there's some 4s down here, but yeah, since then, been pretty good. Joe Ryan's going out there for Minnesota. You can see him. He gives up more runs. He's not as good as Scooble, so you got to take Scooble in this one. For the bats, you got to take Minnesota. So right there, they cancel out. So I can't take Detroit money line, and I can't take Minnesota money line. Nerfy, Joe Ryan against the Detroit offense. He has not faced Detroit recently. I think he can shut down Detroit's offense. Let me tell you right now, I think he can. And I think Scooble can shut down Minnesota's offense. So initially, I thought I was going to take nothing, but I'm adding the Nerfy. I'm going to do it. Got to do it. Got to do it. Nerfy in this one. I feel good about that because you see how poor Detroit's offense is. Yeah, so. And the only way Scooble gets rocked is if Minnesota's that hot, which, I mean, yeah. So let's look deeper. Let's look at props. Let's go matchup. Let's go Scooble first. History, Scooble, Minnesota. You can see what's happened. Buxton has 2 home runs and 9 at bats. Interesting. That's something worth noting right there. Okay. 1 home run for Margot. Nothing's truly standing out. And Minnesota absolutely rakes against lefties. Ooh, that's a fun one. Look at all that green because he don't even count. He don't even play, but everyone else does. Damn, that's a lot of green. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's look at some props. Walks. I mean, if you want to pay that, go for it. Yeah, get you a walk prop. Strikeouts, I can't do that. Hits, earn runs, brother, yeah, and outs. He's six or 7. That's how many innings. There you go. I don't like any of his props. Joe Ryan time. Let's look at Joe Ryan history. Joe Ryan. There we go. More red. That's what I expected. A little bit, 375, nothing truly stands out. Detroit versus righties is not good, and there's not good anyway, so yeah, I don't expect much out of Detroit's offense today. Looking at the options. 6.5? No, I can't do that. Earn runs. Yeah, he's been up, but he might be down today. Ooh, and yeah, nothing on that either. So, okay, none of the props look good. I'm adding the Nerfy for sure. I was gonna not... I'm still probably not going to. Detroit does. I mean, Minnesota does so well against lefties. Ooh, no, I can't go against Scooble, can I? No. We'll leave it alone. We'll take the Nerfy. We'll leave it alone. We'll move on to the next game. All right, next up we got Colorado and San Fran. You can see San Fran's a pretty heavy favorite in this one. 7 is the total. 7. Both teams offensively are 1 and 2 in the majors in the last 3 for 8 and 7.7. 299 for 5th, 315 for 4th, but the total is 7. I mean, the pitchers are good, let's be honest, and they both strike out a ton. So the pitchers are Blake Snell, who is slowly regaining his form. Even though he gave a couple runs, he only had 4 Ks against the Dodgers. It was the Dodgers. So now he gets to face Colorado for the first time. Yeah, he might shove a little bit. Yeah, and then Feltner's going out there. He has a high ERA with a high whip. Faced San Fran 6 days ago. Then you can see him, 6 hits, 2 earned, 6 Ks, in a 3-2 loss. Yeah, so let's look a little closer. I still don't know what I want to do yet. So let's start with Feltner. Do his history. We want Feltner, bang, bang, bang. Feltner versus San Fran people. Fitzgerald's got a home run, and Soler's got a home run. 462 on 13 at bat. Soler might have to get added to this list now. I'm thinking he hit a home run yesterday too. Soler from San Fran. Welcome to the list, buddy. You're going on the list with Trey Turner and Sager. Yep. And how does San Fran hit righties? Not as good as lefties. So, yeah, numbers are kind of lower. There's a 3 there. Yeah, yeah, okay. He'll still stay on the list. Walks, no. Strikeouts, yeah. How bad is San Fran striking out? 29th, 12 strikeouts a game. We're at 4.5. Ooh, head to head. He had 6 last week, and he had 2 on May 17th. Ugh. Okay. And he's striking out more recently too. That's interesting. We'll pass on it. We'll pass. We don't have to take every play we see. So he's getting better. Little downward staircase. Like to see those. Earned runs are down. Pitching outs are going up, but then you have some down spots. Okay. Okay. Let's do Snell now. Snell history versus the Rocks. You can see what he's done. Tovar's got a home run. Diaz has a home run. Does absolute terrible averages because this was mainly from last year when he was with San Diego and the year before. Rockies versus lefties. They actually do kind of good against lefties. You can see the numbers where they are. Let's look at some props. Strikeouts. Show me the over. 7.5. Yeah. Yeah. He's hit that once this entire season. That was against Minnesota. Yeah. How much did he hit last year? Oof. Oh, no. Now, the 3 times he's faced Colorado, he has hit it. So that is good. It was all with last year. So, ooh, that would be a fun one. He hasn't hit it recently, so I need to see him hit that. I'm going to play off. Hits, no. Earned runs. 1.5, no, and outs, no. So his pitching outs are going up too. The only issue with this is, 1, it's a part of a doubleheader. Doubleheader games are weird. 2, Snell has been mentioned getting traded to like 5 different teams as of last night. So he might not even be here by the time the game starts. So that's another thing. They might not want to use him much because he's probably getting traded because they want to move that contract. So everyone's reporting it, so that makes it weird too. Trade deadline is making everything weird. So offenses are both pretty good. The pitchers are pretty good. I really can't decide on what I want to do in this one. And then the whole Snell being traded really worries me. So I'm just going to lay off, and it's a doubleheader. So I'm just going to lay off this one, pass, and move on to the next game. All right, next up, we got Dodgers and Astros. We got Houston's a moderate favorite at home. 9 is the total. Looking at this, 41% NRFI based on what they've done this year. 3 runs a game for 253 average for LA in the last 3. That's 23rd and 10th in the majors. Houston, 5 and 298. It's 11 and 6. So you got to give the advantage to Houston, probably slightly in the offense. And LA is striking out a ton, as you can see. Pitchers, we got Blanco going out there. Dude gives up some runs. That's what he does. Outside of 7-0 here, he gives up runs. A couple of games. And Robleski's only done 3 total games, and he had a great game against Boston, but he does not pitch more than 5 innings. He just ain't going to do it. He's new. So, yeah, it makes sense. So, to me, it's really hard to get a feel on which one I would take. He's pitched great, and then 3 and 4, and then Blanco gives up a handful every game. So, maybe Blanco slightly just because he has more experience. He's seen more, maybe. So, to me, both are slights, so nothing really stands out. So it's going to be hard to take a side. Let's look a little deeper at the props. Robleski, history, there's going to be nothing here. Houston versus lefties. They seem to be better against lefties than righties. You can see the numbers. Alvarez, Jordan, 352. Altuve, 336. You can see some of them love hitting some lefties. And let's look at some props on him. He doesn't have much. His earned runs are 2.5. His strikeouts are 3.5. He's gone over. But Houston's not striking out much. Hits 4.5, walks 2 a game. If you want to pay that, that's not a bad number, to be honest, for 2 walks. Maybe. Let's look at Blanco now. Blanco history versus the Doyers. A lot of red. Otani's over here at 250. We got a 1 for 3. Nothing's truly standing out. Hayward's got a home run. Smith's got a home run. Dodgers versus righties. You can see Otani's still 329. Freeman's 312. Everyone else is in the 200s. Nothing really truly stands out. They tend to like lefties more. This is why Houston has a slight lean. That's why they're favored, why they are probably. Look at the props. Hits, 5.5. Strikeouts, can't do that. Earned runs, nope. Walks, nope. And pitching outs, he's 17.5. He's hit 17 4 out of the last 10 times. That's ridiculous. No, that's 5 2/3. No, that's crazy. So yeah, that'll be no, can't do that. So right for me, I'm not taking any of the props. I don't like them. There's a slight lean on Houston money line just because there's a slight lean on pitching, there's a slight lean on the bats, and it's at home. That's it. That's the only main things we have. And LA is striking out a ton. So what is the odds? It's a slight lean. It's not 148. It's a slight lean. It's not good enough for me. I need more confidence. So to me, I'm being cautious today. I'm gonna pass on this one. You can have fun with it. I'm gonna pass and move on to the next one. Next up, we got Chicago and Kansas City. Royals are a slight favorite at home. 8 is your total. Looking at the numbers, 49.7% nervy based on what they've done this year. Chicago's offense, zero point 0.7 runs in their last 3 games for 30th, 179 average for 29th in the majors. Not good at all. You don't want to have that next to your name with those numbers. KC, on the other hand, 4.7 per 12th, 287 per 7th. Casey's offense has a big, massive advantage in this one. Chicago is struggling hard, 3-game losing streak. So looking at the pitchers, we got Lugo going out there for KC. You can see what he's done. Outside this Boston game, he's been pretty good. Can't complain. And then Chicago has Shota going out there, who outside of his triple double right here he had down here, you can see he has been pretty good as well. So yeah, so only question is Shota going to get any offense help today? I don't know if he can, because Lugo's going to go out there and probably shove. So that makes me lean Casey money line for sure. Even though I like Shota, it's just going to be hard for him to get any run support. So let's look a little closer. Let's go Lugo versus Cubs history. He has a home run and 1 at bats. So Swanson has done nothing against him in 12 at bats, really. You can see in Chicago hits righties about 50-50. There's nothing truly stands out. None of the main players are even close to 300. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough day for Chicago, let me tell you right now. So earned runs 2.5. I might just throw that on the under. This is the under. Okay, he's gone over 3 the last 7 games. Head to head, he got 4, and that was last April in 2023. I don't care about that. In 2024, he's gone over 4 times. Lugo's been good. Chicago's terrible. I think I'm gonna take Lugo under 2.5 earned runs. That's standing out. We're going to type it in. We'll see if we finish with that, but we'll keep going. So strikeouts. The Cubs are not striking out much for once. Hits, no. Walks. Pitching outs. Oh, pitching outs. I was like, what is that? So 18.5. Ah, you bastards. So, all right, so far we have that. Let's go to Shota now, see what he has. Let's do his matchup. We want the Cubs versus Casey history. They never face Shota, obviously. The Royals versus lefties. They like to hit some lefties. You can see the numbers. We got some 300s on there for people to actually play. And then even the 200s aren't. They're mid 200s. Nothing truly bad on here. Looking at the things, the stats, the information, the props, walks, strikeouts. He does strike out, but KC is probably top 1 or 2 when it comes to strikeouts. They just don't do it. Actually, right now, they're number 1. So enjoy. I can't take a Shota strikeout prop against the number 1 strikeout team. They're disciplined. Hits, no. Earned runs, no. He might have a great game. Pitching outs, unless he gives up a whole bunch, he should probably go 18. 6 innings. But he's facing Casey's offense, which is doing pretty good. So I don't really want to take that just in case he gets rocked. So yeah. So for me, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to take that Lugo under 2.5 earned runs, and I'm going to take Casey on the money line. I don't see how Chicago gets any runs today unless they break out of their slump, which could happen. Seattle did it yesterday. So, but for right now, I'm going to pass on everything else. Lugo, 2.5 earned runs under, and KC money line next game. All right, next up, Miami and Milwaukee. I said it yesterday. Miami should have won the game, and they won the game. There was no reason for Milwaukee to be a minus 220 or 240 or whatever the hell it was. So you can see now Milwaukee's only on 155 now. Odds makers kind of learned a little bit. You can see 8 is your total. Looking at this, 60.6 nerfy based on what they've done this year. 6 runs a game while batting 276 for Miami. That's 6th and 8th in the majors in the last 3. There's a little thing like team total. Miami over 3.5's gone. It's hit so many times in a row now. It's like 6 or 7 games now. It's crazy. Shout out to somebody online who told me that. Milwaukee, 2 runs a game, 245. That's 27th and 12th. So you can see the offensive got to lean Miami. Let's look at the pitchers. We got Savale, however you want to say it, Mr. Former Tampa, because Tampa's selling everything. So, and you can see what he's done since he got there. He's been up and down. That's why I got rid of him, probably because that's what he is. He's up and down. He's not what Tampa was looking for, so he got moved. And then Miami is sending out Maximus Meyer. Max Meyer here, so that's a cool last name, Maximus Meyer. And he's been the minors. He's coming up. Last time he played was April 13th against Atlanta. 6 hits, 1 earned. He's not bad. These are good numbers for a starter. Let's be honest. These are pretty good. So, we'll see. I'm intrigued. He's going up against Milwaukee's offense, which is pretty in, but it's his first game since April, which might as well say it's your first game of the season. So really, so we fade those around here. So that's gonna make me want to pass on Murphy. I thought about it, but not with Miami's offense either. So let's dig a little deeper, and shall we go to the outlier? Let's go Savale first. History. Miami has some history. Jazz got him a home run with us. It's only went out 2 out of 3 at bats. 11 at bats for Bell. No, nothing there. Nothing stands out. Miami versus righties. They're up and down. They're middle of the road. There's nothing. I mean, there's a 354, but he doesn't play too much. You can see the numbers. And let's look at some props. Hits. He gives up a lot of hits. He's going against Miami's offense. I think Miami can get 5 hits on him. Just right there. Just looking at that. So by over 4.5 hits allowed. I love me some hits allowed props. Those are fun. Strikeouts. No, he got double staircases. Earned runs up and down. Nope. Peaks and valleys. Not walks. He has been wild recently too. He has not settled in. And pitching outs is no. And the other one, we're not going to have anything, but we can at least look at the matchup and at least pull. Oh, is there a history? Oh, there is. Hoskins has 1 home run in 3 at bats. That's interesting. Milwaukee versus righties, they're pretty decent. You can see the numbers. They're decent across on both sides. Nothing truly stands out there. We just know they're struggling right now offensively. Earned runs under 2.5 is favored. 169. I know Milwaukee's bad, but come on. Offensively right now they're bad, not overall bad. Hits, walks, and outs. It's like I said, this is all from April. We don't trust that around here. So for me, I'm going to take Savale under 4.5 hits allowed. Oh, and since I did bring it up, let me actually look at it. Let's look at team props. Miami runs 3.5 over is -105. I'm going to go with that too. Miami team total over 3.5 because that's a fun prop that people don't think about team totals too much. I don't either. I admit it. I struggle with it, so I need to remember this more. So I'm going to take this Miami team total over 3.5. And I guess you could probably say I'm leaning Miami, but I don't trust that pitcher. So we'll take Savale over 4.5 hits allowed, Miami team total over 3.5, and move on to the next game. All right, next up, we got the Yankees and the Red Sox, the rivalry. We have Boston as a slight favorite at home. 9.5 is the total. Yesterday, they went over that pretty easily. It was 9-7 final. 40.7% on the NRFI based on what they've done. You can see 4 runs a game, 243 for New York in the last 3. That's 16th and 14th. Boston, 7.3 and 333. That's 4th and 2nd. So you got to give the advantage to Boston. Both offenses trending up, but Boston's trending up even more than New York is. So, and they're both striking out 8 for 14th. So pitching, we got Cutter Crawford going out there. He faced the Yankees on July 7th. 7 innings, 4 hit. Gem. That's what you want out of him. Gem against KC. Another good offense. Roughed up against the Dodgers. It happens. You don't have your best game every day. So, and a good game against Miami, which apparently is an offensive juggernaut recently. So, Stroman's going out there. You can see who Stro does. He got roughed up against Cincy, against Boston on June 16th. 7 hits, 4 earned. Yeah, they already got to him once. And when pitchers and batters face for the second time, the batters tend to have more advantage because they see the pitches, they see the motion, they see the release points, they see all this stuff. So, I'm already leaning Boston right now. So I would take, of these two, I lean Cutter. Just going to throw it out there slightly. I lean Cutter. And for bats, I lean Boston. So far, I'm double Boston. So, okay, let's dig a little bit deeper, see if we can find anything. For Cutter, history, I'm taking Boston moneyline, and this is why. Cutter versus Soto, 167. Cutter versus Judge, 188. Yeah, there's 2 home runs, but there's 188. That's all he does is hit home runs. So, a lot of red on this board. So Cutter might shove today a little bit. I hope that'd be nice. If I'm taking Boston money line. And Yankees versus righties, they're pretty good for the season, just not against Cutter. So that's interesting to see. And we'll look at some props. Cutter, 816.5 is your number. He's gone. I think he can get over this. He had 15. He burned this last time, but he got roughed up and he still stayed 15. So, all right. So let's make a list of some things we like. We like Cutter over 16.5 PO. And we're even getting an EV value play because it should be 156. You can get it for 120 at MGM. And looks like it's strikeouts. I'm not liking strikeouts. I'm not liking hits. I'm not liking, I mean, maybe, but no. I already got outs. Outs is better. So none of those. And let's go to Stro. Let's look at Stro's history versus Boston. Some red on there, but a couple greens, but not many at bats. O'Neill, not good, 11 at bats. You can see Smith, 111. Devers, 111. The under might even be a play in this one because I think both pitchers might shove, even though the bats are pretty hot. So, yeah. So, and then Boston versus righties, up and down. You see there's some 300s. So nothing truly stands out. Devers good against righties, but just not against Stroman. So, let's look at some props. Hits, strikeouts, earned runs, walks, and pitching outs. He's up and down. So for me, I think I'm going to go with these two. I'm taking Boston money line because I think Cutter might actually shove. I think Stroh should have a pretty good game. I'm going to take Cutter over 16.5 pitching outs, Boston money line, and move on to the next game. All right, next up we got Seattle and Chicago White Sox. I'll be lying if I said this game doesn't got me a little worried after yesterday. So Seattle slightly favored, 7.5 total. Looking at the bats, you got Seattle, who is spiked up hard after yesterday, getting 10 runs, batting 289 against the White Sox. That puts them at 16th at 4 runs a game and 24th at 204 in the average, which is better for them. They're worse. So up for them. Chicago, 1 running game for 29, batting 174 for 30th. There's rumors that Seattle is adding players. We know that they added Randy, and Chicago is going to be moving pieces here soon. Pitchers, maybe bats. We'll see what happens. Maybe Louis Robert might get moved. We'll see. And you can see the strikeouts. Chicago striking out a ton. Chicago is in line. They're third right now in worst winning percentages in history. Third of all of baseball history right now. It's terrible. So, yeah, so rough season for them. Now we look at the pitchers. Woo's going out there, 254 to 0.87. I like Woo. Woo's good. Outside of this, he gave 9-4 against Angels. He's got pretty good numbers. He was out for a while, a little bit of injury, but he's been good all season. So I like Woo. Fetty, however you say it. He's also good. You can see the numbers. Now, I hyped up a White Sox pitcher yesterday, and he gave up 8 runs in the first inning. So, hey, we're not going to hype up that too much in this one. So, he's been good recently. That's all I'm saying. So, let's pop over to the props a little bit. Let's see who we got first. Let's start with Mr. White Sox himself. And history, we have Hanger as a home run, 4 at bats. Ross is 3 for 9. Nothing's truly standing out. Seattle versus righties is pretty. They like to hit them some righties. You can see the numbers. And they still don't have Randy on here yet, which I don't know if he's making his debut tomorrow, maybe? I know he was still in Tampa last night at the game, so that's something new. And let's look at their props. Strikeouts, 6.5, no. Hits, 4.5. No. I don't trust Seattle's offense that much. I can't do all that now. And no. So let's look closer at Woo. History. Benintendi has a home run. Sheets has a home run. No one really has impressive more than 4 at bats. Chicago versus righties. Chicago versus lefties. It doesn't matter. The numbers aren't good. So that's all it is. They're just not good. Let's look at earned runs, 4 strikeouts, hits, and walks. You don't even give me outs? Oh, that's crazy. All right, so I don't like any of the props. If anything, Chicago's on a 12-game losing streak, and Woo's pitching in what was the money line? It was kind of low, 135. I think Seattle had that breakout. I think they might ride that breakout, and they're getting the added oomph of the bats coming in soon. I'm going to take Seattle on my own in this one. This could easily be a low-scoring game, hence the total being 7.5, but I'll take Seattle to get the win in this one. I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm not going to touch... do I touch the Nerfy? Do I go for it again? That's a question. Let me look real quick. Let me look. The bats are still the bats. Oh, Woo, can Woo get me a Nerfy? Can Fetty get me a Nerfy? No, it's Saturday. We're going to have some fun. We're going to add the Nerfy. Murphy went like 1,001 yesterday. So we're going to take the Murphy in this one again. Take caution if you follow this. Actually, don't follow this. Murphy, Seattle money line next game. All right, next up, Washington, St. Louis. St. Louis is favored at home decently. Total 8.5. Looking at the bat, 68.9 Murphy, and no shot in hell am I taking a Murphy. It hit yesterday, but you see the total. It was 8-10 was the final. There's no shot. The offense is a bow spiked, so someone's going to keep up, hopefully. So 4.3 with 181 for Washington, but they were 10 for 289 yesterday. St. Louis 3.3 for 210, but they hit 8 runs and batted 275. So the offenses are both going up. They're both garbage. Now they're doing decent after one game. We need to see if they keep up that trend. So I'm going to pass on the side right there alone. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no difference in the bats. Only thing difference is Washington striking out more. Pitching, Irvin's going out there, and he's not had the best July. Let me put it that way. He had a beautiful game against the Mets, and then fell apart. And fell apart against the Mets. I mean the Brewers. And 5-2 against Cincy was actually pretty decent. So you can see he's been up and down. He's been more up than down. Gibson's going out there. He's been more consistently mid, maybe. He has a Wendy's down here, a fo. You can see all these what he does. Nothing truly. I don't really like either side in his pitching, so I don't see an advantage in the bats. I don't see an advantage in pitching. Maybe slight advantage for Irvin, but he's had too many rough in the last 3. So let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's go a little closer, a little bit deeper. Let's go Gibson. Gibson history. Anything stand out? We have some greens. No, we have 1 home run for Yepes. Nothing truly stands out here in the totals. Washington versus righties is about 50-50. Even the greens are 300. He doesn't play much, so that doesn't count. Hits, strikeouts. This is Washington striking out a ton recently. Gibson's 4.5. He hit 6.88. You know what? I think I'm taking me some Gibson strikeouts over 4.5K. Dang. Because Washington is, as you can see his numbers, his head-to-head, he had 8, and that was on the 7th. Oh, he just faced him. That's right. Go back to the right screen. There we go. Yeah, he just faced 5 innings, 9 hits, 8 strikeouts, 3 runs. I completely overlooked that. When you get this many games into it, you start getting a little into it. So, yeah, he just faced him 5 innings. Did Irving face St. Louis? He did not face St. Louis. Okay, so Gibson's already proven he can strike him out. He had 8. I'm going to take his, because it's silly. It's 4.5. And it's like almost underdog. Yeah, I'm going to take that. I don't care. I'm going to take that. His earned runs and his walks. No, I like the K prop. And let's pop over here to Irvin. Let's look at his matchup against St. Louis. History, a lot of green on there. I mean, given it was all 2 at bats, everybody went 1 for 2 against him. And Burleson got him a home run out of the deal. And St. Louis versus righties, more green than red. You can see they like hitting some righties, but nothing on the averages really stands out. Wins at 305, but no one else is even close. So, not the best. Look at strikeouts, 4.5. See, St. Louis ain't striking out much right now, so. And that's it on that one. So for me, I'm not taking a side. I'm not taking a total. I'm not taking a Murphy. Those 2 offenses being that hot scare me now. So I'm going to take Gibson to get him 4.5 strikeouts over and move on to the next game. All right, next up, Pirates and Diamondbacks. Arizona's a pretty heavy favorite with your total at 8. Looking at the numbers, 50.7% Murphy based on what they've done this year. Pittsburgh's offense is not good. 23rd, getting 3 runs a game while batting 200 for 25th. That ain't going to cut it. Arizona, much better. 6 runs a game, 276. That's 6 and 8. That's top 8 in the majors. You got to give Arizona a big advantage of the bats. Pitching, we got Brandon P. I don't know how to say his last name. Fat, however you say it. Either way, dude's been dealing. You can see the stats of what he's done. His worst game was a 5-4 against Minnesota down here. Dude has been lighting it up. Underrated, awesome pitcher. Marco's going out there. He's only pitched twice since he did 3 in April, and then he came back and pitched a couple times. Pretty good numbers. Can't complain. So, but I'm still taking Brandon over there for Arizona. So far, Arizona pitcher, Arizona offense. That means Arizona money line most likely. We'll dig a little deeper. Let's look a little closer. History, Pittsburgh, not many at bats, no home runs, nothing truly stands out. Pittsburgh against righties, nothing is truly good for Pittsburgh. Their offense is just not good. they need to get them some bats at the break. So you can see no one's even close to sniffing 300. And I've already looked at the props, and truly nothing is I kind of liked under 2.5 earned runs allowed because of how poor Pittsburgh's offense is, to the point that I'm actually going to take it now. That under 2.5 earned runs. So we're going to take that for sure. Walks, I'm not going to take. Outs, he's pretty thin. I'm going to pass on that one. Margot doesn't have much of stats, obviously, but we can at least look at how there is some. So Marte does have a home run against him, so you can see. And the at-bats, 425. That's good for Arizona. And Arizona versus lefties they're better against lefties and righties. We got some 300s on here, so that makes me feel better about the Arizona money line. So, and the props, we can dig through them, but there's nothing truly to look at because I want 2024. And there's not much on here. I'm not messing with these. So he hasn't pitched much. So for me, I'm taking Arizona money line. I'm taking PFAT under 2.5 earned runs, and I'm going to bounce over to the next game. All right, next up we got Oakland and LA. You can see that LA is actually favored in this one at home. 8.5 is the total. 61.3 Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 4 runs a game, 243. The Oakland offense is finally cooling down. They're both middle of the road now. Angels, 3.7, 242. They're middle of the road, so no clear advantage when it comes to the bats. Looking at the pitchers, we got Tyler Anderson. Dude is outside of his Detroit game. He's faced Oakland on June 25th, 5-3 and 5. Outside of that, nothing's truly standing out. Pretty average pitcher, can't complain. Good chance he gets traded. A lot of places have said there's a great chance he gets traded. Spence, on the other hand, you can see he got rocked against Philly. He faced the Angels literally 7 days ago. 5 hits, no home runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Then he faced him again on the 2nd. Then he faced him again on the 25th. You can see he faces, this is his 4th time facing him in a month. So that's got to be good for LA, right? That's got to be, because he got rocked in this game. Great game, this one, and an average game. So, I mean, 4th time. What are you going to do? So let's dig a little deeper, see if we see anything that stands out. We'll go to the matchup. Anderson, Mr. Anderson. And you can see how these dudes do. You can see all the stats, what's going on. And Oakland versus lefties is not as good as righties, to the point where 500 average and 32 at-bats is actually impressive for Angelar. That's actually impressive. How is he? But he's over 2. So nothing's truly standing out there. And let's look at props. Hits, earned runs, walks, outs. Nothing I like. Spence, let's look at his. Spence versus Angels, bang. A lot of green, but not, I mean, there hasn't been that many bats. So, yeah. Only 1 home run, it was Moniak, and he doesn't do well, so nothing truly there. And they about 50-50, nothing's really, there's 1 300 for Hot, but that's always there. And let's look at some props real quick. Walks, no, he's good for a while, but then oof. Strikeouts is a no. Hits, no. Earned runs and outs. So far, I don't like any of that. So for me, the offenses are too close together. The pitchers, I would lean Anderson in the pitching, which is why they're favored. But I'm not going to take the money line. I'm not going to take a total because it's what is it, 8.5? No, I can't take that. I don't want to take a Nerfy because we know, I'm just not feeling it. To me, nothing is really standing out in this game, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass on this one and bounce over to the last game. All right, last game is Rockies Giants part 2 of the doubleheader, which is already weird because doubleheader games are just weird. This game really depends on what happens in the first game, and we won't know that because I filmed this in the morning. So, but in this one, there are odds, and San Fran is almost a 200 favorite with an over/under of 8. Here are the numbers again. These will be changed. They'll be skewed based on the earlier game, but as you can see what they've done. So you can pause and look at it. I'm not going to go through them again. Pitchers, we don't know who's going out there for Colorado. All we know is Birdsong is going to go out there for San Fran. So I'll show you Birdsong stuff real quick. That's all I can show because there's no props up yet, so I can't even look at the prop screen. So you can see he faced Colorado on the 21st. 2 hits, 12 Ks. Dude just shoved. So you can see why San Fran's such a big favorite. So for me, Doubleheader, second game, I always tend to pass those because we need to know how tired they're going to be, what's going to happen, what's the first game result. Two, we don't know who the Colorado pitcher is. So for me, I'm going to pass completely on this one and just call it a day. That's it. That's all 16 games broken down. There were some passes, there were some plays in there. I will do the money line parlay right now because I keep forgetting to add a section for it. So for the money lines, I'm taking San Diego, Kansas City, Boston, Seattle, and Arizona. I'm taking all 5 of them. I'm going to throw them on a parlay because why not? Now, if you want the full recap of all the games instead of watching, because I know this is a long video, some just don't have time. I completely understand. You can scroll through each part, and I put the play at the end of each part because I break everyone down. But if you ain't got time for that, you can become a member of this channel and you can get the plays. They'll look exactly like this. They'll just be typed out in the member only chat. And when you do that, you also get access to Discord. And this is what this is, obviously. You get to see the plays. You'll see them typed out perfectly. You don't even have to watch the video if you don't want to. So it's just a little perk I try to give out to the members. And if you don't want to join the membership, there's a link in the description. You can join Discord just straight through that way too. So check that out. Outside of that, again, it was 16 games, ton of baseball today. We had a great day yesterday. Drop a like, share, subscribe. Check out Outlier because you can get cool stuff like this. You can see Outlier, link in the description for that. Free trial for a week. It's worth it to try for at least a week and see if you like it or not. So outside of that, drop in the comments what you're going to play because I want to tell some people. There's UFC tonight, which I will have some plays for. They'll probably be for the members. I might just throw some stuff out there. I'm not going to make a video on it. So other than that, hope we all have a great day. We all profit, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.